Let's give me these workouts. Let's do squats. These squats help me out. Hey, Lamb Chop reporting for Black Asia Magazine here. What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna get out the camera and just be a voice in the ears from now on. So we're here in Taipei, and I'm with two dazzling young women, and they're gonna introduce themselves to all of us at this very moment. Starting with whoever.
I am Harmony Divine. I currently live in Taiwan. Have been here for 2.5 years, and I came to Taiwan with my mother, who will introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Tracy Bieshla Pierre, and I've also been in Taiwan 2.5 years with my daughter. I've been having a lovely time with her, and she came here specifically to learn Chinese. However, I came as a student at Taida, National Taiwan University, and I've been here just exploring the world of Taiwan through dance, poetry, one-woman shows, and I'm also an English teacher and a dance teacher here.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
And so Harmony is currently in school, still studying.
In high school, yes.
All right. And Tracy, are you still? You said you were studying before.
Yes, I came here as a student to study 1 year to do my senior year as an exchange student at Taiwan University.
Okay.
And that was just the plan as far as getting into the country so that I could have the resources and scholarships and funding so that I could have my daughter come with me and her learn Chinese at a school too.
Right. And so you finished studying now, and you're just doing the entrepreneur, dance, teach thing.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Great. So, Taiwan, how has Taiwan been to you guys? 2.5 years. One word.
One word. Challenging.
Why? Why challenging? Really briefly.
Challenging because there's a lot to get over, a lot of things you have to change your mind to think about. The living here is sometimes difficult too, and having a mother who loves to be herself a lot.
Right.
So,
I guess that can make it easier and harder, right?
Yeah.
At times. What about for you, Tracy? One word.
One word?
Don't think about it.
Creative.
Ooh.
Yeah, Taiwan is creative. It's a place that I see that, you know, when you live in the U.S., I feel like the U.S. has this thing about calling other places third world countries.
Right.
And when you come to Taiwan, which is such a simple country, you know, the way that they recycle and they make it a must, and the way that they live, and the way that they make everything so convenient as far as buying food and paying bills and just living all together. And you think about just the infrastructure, the things that they build, the beautiful feng shui and the cleanliness of the country. You're like, wow, is U.S. the third world country? Harmony had an experience like that when we went back to New York, and she was looking at street lights and stuff like this. So yes, I noticed that Taiwan makes simple things simple, and that's something, especially as a woman, as a Gemini, as a person that loves to create and doesn't want to hear the word no. I like when people make simple things simple, and it's an amazing thing. So I think creative is a good place for me to, you know, a good word for Taiwan.
That's a great way to put it. It's creative in a way that America is not creative.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, like even the healthcare system. Something as simple as that, free healthcare. You know, pay, you know, a minimal, you know, and then you get to go to mostly any doctors and get the service you need. Something simple, you know?
Yeah.
And so many people suffer, so many people have to get, you know, different kind of funding from the government. They have to go through these things where they have to either pretend like they don't have a man, or they feel comfortable leaving their husbands because they get more resources if they don't have a man at home. Just simple things, you know? I think that's what I appreciate.
Wow, I didn't know that. Is that related to, you know, the I usually see women selling sweet potatoes on the street.
Yes.
And I was told that this is a government service, and it allows them to sell food like single mothers
In Taiwan, or
in Taiwan. Yeah,
interesting.
like you see, like they have like the big barrels, and they
Yes,
just
yes.
have the dequa.
I never knew that. And I love that about Taiwan. Everything is a unit. Everything is a family structure. You look at something that looks like just run by the mill business. And then you go somewhere else, like a couple of miles down, and you see there's another, and there's another. And you're like, wow, this was a chain? It's amazing how even the simplest business concept is a chain. I love that because it tells me that there's some unity in the country, that people are not trying to reinvent the wheel. And I don't know about the potato situation, but I do know that there are people that are getting paid to take care of, like you go through a nanny program,
Right.
and you can get paid to take care of the elderly people in your family. So you don't have to leave them at home unattended. You don't have to be scared that someone is not giving them the love that you would want.
Right.
You can actually go to the government, take classes to be a nanny, and actually be the caretaker of this person. And these are simple things that I think they elevate a community, and they bring the people together instead of making money and politics separate people.
For sure. I think this is a good place to roll into because it relates to family. And in America, there's nursing homes, there's senior citizen homes, oftentimes used as a way to kind of get rid of your elderly relatives. This is the opposite. And you guys have been here 2.5 years now. I'm curious, you're from the States, you mentioned. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, we're from, I'm born and raised in Miami.
Right.
Romney is born in Miami, and then she's raised a couple of other places.
Right.
But I feel like I'm from New York.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's traveled. You can tell them the different places that you've been.
Well, after leaving Florida, after I was 1 year old, my mom and I moved to Georgia, and she raised me there for 7 years. And after that, we made a big decision to go and live in Haiti, where it's definitely a change in culture, a change in challenges, a lot of things to get over. And we stayed there for about 2 years. And then after that, we moved to New York, where I have been residing there for about 4 years. And then we moved to Taiwan. But I say I'm from New York because New York is where I really made up some memories, and I have deep connections with people and with the state itself. Because I actually know New York. I can say I know where to go. I know how to act with certain people. But Florida, Georgia, and sometimes Haiti, like I go there and I feel like a foreigner. But New York feels like home to me.
Right. That's what's up. I'm from New York, so I guess New York feels like home to me in a way.
Florida obviously feels like home to me because everything about Florida is home. It's not that I know how to get around to Florida, as you need a car in Florida similar to Georgia.
Yeah.
However, I'm very southern, and there's a lot of temperaments of New York. Like, I'm always making people know, like, I'm not a New Yorker, and I think most people can tell I'm not a New Yorker. I feel like I'm not a New Yorker.
When she says she's southern, she means she has a lot of hospitality.
Oh, hospitality. I know all about that.
Respect.
And I learned that from definitely being Haitian and definitely coming from Florida. Yeah.
For sure. And these qualities of different places, even in America, they become community qualities. From a large community like a state, and then maybe a job, social environment, whatever, down to a family, right? Because family is maybe the first community, or maybe yourself is the first community, but family. What is the difference between what you guys know family to be versus what family is to the Taiwanese, or what it seems like the family dynamics are here in Taiwan?
Family to me means being together and everyone having responsibility to help and make your family the best. Like, to make everyone contribute to a part of the household, or even the person who gets the best grades, like the kid who gets the best grades in the family, still that's going to be holding the family up, not just that one person. And in Taiwan, I feel like it's the same thing. They feel the same way about families, and like And well, either way, I feel that families in Taiwan definitely focus more on studying. Like for their kids, they focus more on their kids succeeding. Not really their family, but their kids succeed. They just want their kids to live a good life. They want their kids to become the future. And that's the same as any family, but I feel like when I have a family, I hope that we can just be together. We don't need to push each other to the best, we don't need to push each other to go out on our own, but we stay together as a family. Yeah.
Yes.
Tracy, do you agree?
I definitely agree 100%. Everything she just said is correct. I think because we travel so many places, and then if you're watching things in the news and television, sitcoms, you realize the word family, it means so many different things. The dynamic is so huge,
right.
And I see so many people doing it in many different ways, and it works.
Right.
It really works so many different ways, so I can't pinpoint what makes it like pop, but I think like what she said, the togetherness is important. And you mentioned the elderly people.
Yeah.
Just like them being out working in the community, doing Tai Chi, doing the things that make them happy in the 80s and up. This is what keeps them healthy and keeps them a part of the family. In the U.S., if you put someone in a nursing home, you know, out of sight, out of mind.
Right, right.
That's what breaks up the family. When you don't have the whole pie. You take out this piece, and you want to understand who you are and all the things that come a part of what makes you. It's nice to have, you know, the elderly a part of this too. So yeah, definitely staying together is what I see here, and I love that. You know, it's not together happy. It's just together. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna struggle through it. We're gonna talk. We're gonna make sure that we are each other's base and we're each other's first line of defense whenever we need something, and that's important.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, specifically, I feel like a lot of kids these days, including myself, we search for trust and understanding from people who are not our families. Like high schoolers these days, we all want boyfriends, we all want girlfriends, we all want a relationship that has nothing to do with our family. We all want to leave our families because we feel like we're trapped there. But honestly, I feel like your family should be the ones you trust the most. Be the ones that you feel like you can actually go to when you're actually in need, not some stranger that you just met or you've been dating for a year and then you want to call that love.
Right. Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
I was saying maybe that's synonymous in the States and Taiwan. Right.
If we knew what synonymous means, we could.
Sorry, I mean, I'm saying maybe that's similar trait for high school age kids in Taiwan and the U.S. Right? Maybe even other places in the world.
Yeah.
For sure. And so, you guys, because of Harmony Schooling, I'm guessing that you're at a few family events, maybe like school events. Maybe, I don't know.
Yes, definitely. What's the question regarding that?
I'm curious if you have any special experiences being first both women, and if there's something that you can take away from being women and around other families, or maybe the way you're perceived, right? A mother and daughter in Taiwan, and also being black women at that.
That's a good question. Okay,
thank you.
I guess I'll answer that question first. I can't really think of a good memory that I've spent with that I've been in an open gathering with my school or other parents.
Maybe just on the street then.
Yeah,
Well, just recently she won an award which required Facebook votes, and I thought this was so amazing. Yeah, that she said afterwards, you know, because the voting ended at noon, and afterwards at school, all the people that voted for her, you know, were from the top buildings and the bottom building were calling out Hao Ming. That's her Chinese name. Her Chinese name is Hao Ming, which means
good life.
Oh, I thought you said how mean.
Yeah, how mean.
I thought I thought you meant like.
What I mean?
No, I thought you meant like how mean, like you're so mean.
No,
like,
her Chinese name is Hao Ming, which means good life, and they were just calling out, and I love the support of that And I don't know, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel good. Like I felt like I had actually won something, and like everybody helped out. Like every day it was nice going to school, like, because every day you could vote for the same person. It's like you didn't have to vote one time. So every day on the loudspeaker they say, guys, remember to vote for the 3 people that are representing our whole school and stuff. It was fun. It was nice.
So you represented the whole school.
Yeah,
that's
was
phenomenal.
A competition for all of Taiwan.
For all of Taiwan.
However, 3
Congratulations.
students in her school were in the competition.
Yeah. And you won it.
I got 3rd place, yeah.
Got 3rd place. That's
First
great.
in her school, though. Like,
Congratulations.
Yeah, the other 2 people in my school it was 3, 4, 5. So we it was funny, we kind of stayed together as we were going up.
For sure, yeah.
Something
So
else-
race and gender, sorry, I just want to ask, race and gender, you think didn't really play a role, or maybe played a more of a positive role? Like was it an invisible factor, or was it one that was in your support?
I mean, for the competition.
For the competition.
I don't think. It didn't feel like my race had anything to do with it.
What I will
can't
say
say.
is there, and not regards to the competition, but I know there was, like last year, Harmony mentioned to me, she's like, people are always giving us stuff for free.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, you were. I wasn't sure if you were thinking.
You guys
that.
are on the same wave right now.
I was saying related to the
And
competition.
we're happy,
so.
and we never fight. We really love each other. We're like the type of mother and daughter that never fight.
Yeah, I could tell from when I
She
first met
doesn't
you
walk
guys
away
that
from me like ever.
it's a super special relationship that y'all have that not everyone has.
Yes.
I think it's great
Neither do
to
we.
get a perspective of what family is. Neither do you? What?
Neither do we. We don't have it either.
Oh, yes you do. Yes you do. You just don't know it. You just don't know it because you're in it. No, so I think it's actually a great. I couldn't think of 2 better people to talk about family with.
Thank you.
You were saying something
About
about race in your school,
Yeah.
or about race. You were saying something about race.
Yeah, so what I was saying is,
Okay.
one of the exchange students had asked me one day, because he likes asking questions, he just asked me, oh, how does it feel being black in Taiwan? And I was
Ooh.
like, he asked me a lot of interesting questions, but I was like, that's a funny question, because I feel good being black in Taiwan. I personally, actually, I would say I feel bad for him in Taiwan, because in Taiwan, I feel like they treat black people kinder.
So they treat black people kinder.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know what it is, but I just feel like they have like as any I don't know every country, but as Americans, we see we are trained to think, oh, black people are poor, so they're just on the lower level. So we just leave them the way they are, and we deal with our own lives. But I see in Taiwan, they think the same thing, except they think, okay, black people are poor, so we need to help them. So I find it funny. So like,
I do need help. I like so little help.
so they always give me stuff for free, and I don't even ask for it. I'm
Freebie
just
me.
like, thank you.
Freebie me too.
And my friend is like, wow, that's interesting, because when I hang out with Taiwanese people, they always expect me to pay for them. I'm like, well, there you go. See?
Wow.
I feel good.
It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think this is just for younger kids? Sorry.
Oh, it's for
Anytime I go out,
Even-
people are paying for me.
They
Every
always
time
say-
I go out, people are
Oh.
They're always asking, can we get you anything more? Or
And the
like,
first and second time
need
is
help.
okay, and then it's like if we go out a third time, it's okay. But it's not just them. I have friends in the U.S. that do the same thing, where I will
Right.
have to leave the table during dinner and find the waitress to pay the bill, so that I could have an opportunity to pay something. But really, I don't want to pay it. I really don't. Usually, when I pay for something that someone wants to pay for, I'm usually down to a couple of dollars anyways. So it's not a time that it's weird. It's ironic like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
ironic like that.
The best opportunity, I guess,
Yes.
for like a moral.
and we be
It's like my
good.
soul that
to
is ready
uphold
to
your-
accept the gift, because I'll probably have money 2 days later, but I don't have money that exact dinner. It's
Right.
very ironic. Yeah.
Wow, and this is like these gestures. Do they feel like genuine gestures?
Oh, they're
Or-
They're very genuine.
They're genuine.
Taiwanese people are really nice.
right.
Yeah.
But is it because of a moral obligation and a perspective that this person has less than me, I should support them? Or Is it just a kindliness, just a friendliness? How does it feel? I know, of course, we don't know. I guess this is Harmony's question because Trace she's put up the defense wall. I know we don't know, but how does it feel? I haven't had this happen to me particularly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, if it has, it hasn't seemed like
I'm not gonna comment.
a Taiwanese thing. Yeah, you should be. I can use some free meals.
I don't feel sorry for you, but I'm just sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll take the half sorry then. You know, beggars can't be choosers. Genuine.
Genuine. Sometimes it's not genuine. Sometimes it is. But I feel like any free hope is good. Not like sometimes. So, like I personally never have anything on me, so I would take. I'm a good taker.
I think when you're
why
giving,
not?
it's challenging to figure out what boundaries you're crossing to making someone to feel uncomfortable. There were one time I invited a friend. This is not in Taiwan. And another in Georgia, I invited some Caucasian friends that I was training, like one of my clients, to my house to dinner.
Right.
And after they came to dinner, they were like, "Oh, we see that you didn't have a lot of dishes in place." So she had a whole new dish and kitchen set. She's like, I don't know, but can I get... I was like, sure, that's fine. I think sometimes people don't know where they're crossing the boundaries.
Right.
Like, it's been so put in our heads, like from generations back, not even just when we were young, from like generations back, that we just don't even notice when we are being racist or when we are being too kind for a reason.
We're afraid to give. Look at restaurants in the U.S. Instead of giving away food to the people, they have to throw it away because of liabilities, because of lawsuits.
Right.
I remember once at a Pizza Hut in the U.S. where they would put old pizza, like, you know, the pizza that they didn't sell that night, they put it in a bucket, a white bucket outside the door, and just for the homeless people. And I said, why don't you just hand it to them or put it in a box or something? They said, well, we have to do it this way for some kind of liability.
Yeah.
Here,
Under the table,
kind of
secretly
thing.
giving.
So in Taiwan, I feel like people do give sincerely, but I think anytime you're giving, it's like, what's the right words to know to let you know I care about you and I don't feel sorry? This is sympathy. This is empathy, not sympathy.
Right.
I think people want to make sure that they don't cross those lines because there's a friendship on the line. Anytime someone is giving, there is a friendship on the line.
And there are people in my school that are sometimes racist. Like, for example, some of the directors, I remember she was helping me write something down for, I don't know, testing, and at the end, she said something in some language. I don't know what she said. She said something in some language. And then she was like, I know that's how you say thank you in one of your African languages. I'm like, I'm not African.
Yeah.
Like, I'm American. I don't know what you said.
But all in goodwill, right?
Exactly. I don't consider
There's no
that
hate.
racist.
There's no malice there, right?
No, but
it's just ignorance, right?
it is racist.
And I guess it is.
Ignorance. I think it's a connection. They're trying to find a way to connect.
Right.
They can easily say nothing.
Right.
Literally, I have people that say nothing.
I know exactly where you both are coming from, and it's hard to know when to draw the line. That's the way I feel. I guess
Like
it's a harmless racism.
It's a harmless racism, but it's still racism.
And you
when
have
you see
to
a
think
black
about-
person, you think, oh, they're African. Well, when I see a white person, I'm not thinking they're from England.
Right.
I'm looking at their whole body, and I can tell where they're from.
Right.
But that's
Valid
the thing.
point.
They say all black people look alike here.
Well, that's like the reverse stereotype
I've never
No,
heard
of what
of
we
it.
have in
They
America.
say that. You know, it's interesting.
They always say
racism-
they can't tell the difference between us. Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference.
There's a very big difference.
You guys have a strong affinity.
She actually looks more like her father. It's
So
very
she said.
interesting. She really
The
does.
people who don't know my father.
Well, you gotta bring a picture in for
I
us
really
next
don't.
time.
Just look at her face. Yeah, but she mentioned something to me which is not Taiwanese, but it happened in Taiwan.
What's that?
One of the foreigners that came and he was calling you the N-word.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
she wanted,
I don't have
she did
experience with
something.
people calling me this, so
Yeah.
I didn't know how to react.
Wow. So you,
Yeah.
I won't even ask about what that turned into.
Because it was a
I
funny
can.
thing, so
You can ask.
Should I elaborate? What was that like? Yeah, tell me a bit
Well,
of.
she likes to-
Was there some context behind it, or was it simply?
No, he was just a really rude person. Like, he was rude to everyone. Not just me. He was just a really rude. I don't even know how he got here. But
I always say Harmony. We always have this joke.
The white paper. Wave the white paper.
You mean like the surrender?
No,
like
I'm white.
Like
that's like I'm white. I can go anywhere. So wave the white paper.
it's like, how do we get a blank white sheet of paper?
A very clean blank white sheet of paper. Here, this is my passport.
This is the joke. Okay, it's a joke. Like, we just say that. Yeah, it was another white. How did he get here? It's a white paper. It's a white paper.
Okay, yeah. Nah, but he called me the N-word multiple times, and eventually I told him, "Can you stop?" Like,
that's what he would call you. He wouldn't call you your name. He would say,
"Hey."
Like,
he knew my name.
And, yeah.
He knew my name, but he would refuse to call me my name. He would every time he saw me, he would always be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And
yeah.
and
one time.
At a point where I just started ignoring him. Like, he would call me, I would ignore him. Like, I would be like, you're not talking to me. Obviously, you're not talking to me because you're not calling my name. So, but one time, we were all sitting down, the foreigners and I were all sitting down, and he called me again, and I said,
What'd you say?
Tell them what you said.
What'd you say?
You have to understand Harmony.
You can bleep out the words if it's necessary.
Harmony did not grow up with a television.
I did not grow up.
And I didn't realize, because I grew up with so much television, so much sitcoms, that this influences how you speak. And it teaches you English idioms, and it teaches you English slang. Harmony didn't have that. So, Harmony, you can go.
Harmony, what's up?
So, I had asked him, how would you feel if I called you a white neck? Because I was trying to remember what they were.
Is that like a kind of meat, or is that like a cut of a turkey or something?
A redneck? She said, what did it feel if I called you a white neck?
Because I couldn't remember what
she was trying to insult him.
White people were.
Wow.
Because I remember
That's
I saw
so
it in a
sweet.
book, but I couldn't remember. I was just like,
and then he said, well, it wouldn't bother me. He's like, it wouldn't bother me. My neck is white. And it is white. In fact, thank you. That's how that went. This is the same Harmony in New York when she went to school in Harlem. She would be standing with two friends. And when a third person would come in the picture, she would say, "Three's a crowd." With a very happy smile. And she was thinking,
well, I heard this on TV, and the few times I get to actually watch TV, and I thought this was a good thing. I thought three's a crowd meant, oh, if it's a crowd, then we're safe.
We have more fun. It's like a party.
I just thought it was a good thing. I didn't realize that was a negative connotation.
But she said she noticed people giving her looks when she said it.
I just know they never said anything. They just ignored me, so I said it all the time.
Actually, I thought it was positive and negative, but it's weird to just say it. If someone,
you're so kind.
If someone, no, I'm serious.
It was negative. So
no, I'm serious.
One day I caught her saying this while we were at the subway, and she was talking with a friend, and then the third one came, and she said, "Three's a crowd." And I was like, "Three's a crowd." What the hell are you saying? I said, "You're saying someone has to get out of here." It's too.
Yeah.
She's like, "I didn't know." You know, she does this all the time. We're in the kitchen one day, and here in Taiwan, and she's like, "Yeah, I think things are going down west." I said, "Down west."
Down west.
I can't remember which way it was. It's like down west.
What are we talking
I
about?
like that one. I might keep that one.
No,
it's going down west.
We're on the west side.
You're on the west side today.
So, but yeah, she doesn't experience the type of racism you think from Taiwanese, but sometimes from.
And sometimes I don't know when people are being racist because I'm not a racist person,
right?
And I didn't grow up thinking, oh, someone was being rude to me because of my race.
Right, right.
Like,
all right. The next question is for Tracy. Harmony, of course, feel free to give your inputs. How do you feel as an entrepreneur? Okay, I'll rephrase this. How do you feel as a black entrepreneur in Taiwan? Do you feel opportunities are abundant for you? And do you see other people of color, other women having opportunities or having an easy time with their own businesses, if you know someone?
Well, I think Harmony's on the outside looking in, so what do you think about how my opportunities are going? Like, how do you judge? Yeah, but I just want to know how you see it.
I think her opportunities are going well. She's a very deserving person, and opportunities always come to her. I don't know how she does it. She always gets what she wants somehow. I wish I could sound like that.
I hear my mom says this too, but I don't see it like that. I don't see anything as accidental. I work hard. Sometimes I don't tell Harmony about the work I put in. I tell her when it's done, because most of it fails. So when an opportunity goes well, I'll let her know, hey, this is going forward, and now this is where I'm at with it. For me being a black woman and how that works, sometimes I do wonder if people are working with me because they feel sorry, or not working with me because they feel I'm black. That has happened on both angles. I accept it as it is because people grow up watching American televisions and understanding black culture and black people in a certain way. The same way people think all people from China or Asia, you know, they lump all Asia into this one slope, and as they're all smart, they're good in math. This is how people think. Just recently, I was at the ARC office, the Alien Residency, the immigration office, and I saw a sign that read, Harmony saw the sign at her school too. She said, it said, no African swine.
Whoa, at the ARC office.
And then Harmony saw a sign.
And then after she showed me this,
because I took a picture
of it. Actually, she showed it to me. When I went to school the next day and I was getting some food, I noticed that they had the exact same sign in our cafeteria. And I was like, that's just racist. And like, that's just messed up. And I'm not even African, but that's just...
What concerned me about was it no African swine. First of all, they're calling it swine, which Harmony told me.
Like, nobody uses that word. Why would you say swine?
Wait, are they referring to pig?
They're referring to pig. Exactly.
I can also give you the picture.
Swine?
So the thing is, African swine. African? I mean, Africa. What? I mean,
Africa is a continent.
This is a continent.
Are you talking about what country?
Where are we talking about? That's like me saying Asian people. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So like Asian style. There's many different styles.
When I see signs like this, sometimes it is a sign within itself that something else is coming. It's like a red flag. Something else is on its way. I don't know exactly what it means, but that sign was like, why is it there?
Why here?
Yeah, swine. And then they give the description, if you come here illegally importing pig and all the stuff, you can be fined. And if you see someone that does it, here's the hotline.
And it's like $20,000, you could be fined.
Here's the hotline to call. And, you know, it's different from Taiwanese pig. It's swine. I mean, come on.
You guys eat a lot of pig.
Get yourself together. It was just like odd for me. Especially
a lot of
Africa,
that white meat.
Yeah, especially because Africa being a continent, where is it coming from?
Right.
You know?
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I was surprised. However, I'm always looking, because I'm looking. So if I'm looking, I'm going to find. I'm always looking to see where there's discrepancy and where there's a legitimate concern in what people are thinking. Yeah.
Of course, especially coming to a foreign place.
Oh yes.
I think it's maybe an automatic response in an attempt to understand the people, understand your environment, ground yourself. Surely.
Sure.
Okay, so maybe it's been otherwise up in the air as far as opportunities. Sometimes it could be for your benefit that you're black, that you're a woman, sometimes not. Okay.
I think in any business setting, every day that you have your own business, especially when it's built on your service, like I'm a personal trainer, I'm a dancer, yoga instructor, all of these things are services that I'm constantly re-edifying. So there's never a set point where I'm like, I got it, it's there. I'm always having to re-qualify myself or re-justify why I have to be in this position. So I understand that because it's a service-orientated business. I think it's sort of like Apple. Apple sells great products, but they also have Apple Care, where you can buy the insurance to ask questions to figure things out, because people are never 100% satisfied or 100% sure of what they're doing. So I do feel like people have to get more clarification on what I'm doing, and it may because I'm woman, it may because I'm black. I'm not sure. Sometimes I think the black, sometimes I think the woman, a lot of times I think the black. In all honesty, I just take everything one step at a time. You know, if somebody needs more information, I give it to them. Then I ask, is there anything else? And I just keep moving forward to see if they're going to reach a point that they say, forget it, you don't need any more information. It's just because you're black. Of course, those type of things are not boldly said most of the time. So you just have to keep playing the game, which, you know, sucks for me because I just want to do my art, do my work. But you have to, yeah, you have to play the part when it's your turn. It's like a chess game. What's next?
Right.
Yeah.
Superb. Well, thank you for your inputs, both of you. Before we wrap it up, I want to know if there's any big plans for the future. If there's any goals. If you guys will stay in Taiwan. If you'll build a spaceship.
Actually, might have to.
Yeah, by that laugh, I think maybe that was right on time. It's like, how does he know? Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about making a flying car, but plans for the future. I think that's more of a important question for me because like I'm still a child and I'm still living with my mom, so I'm not yet in the
very big child.
Exactly.
Very old child.
She says this to appease the cameras because when she's at home, she doesn't feel like she's.
She got her big girl shoes on when you're at home.
Yes, she do.
Pushing things.
And the big heels.
And I don't mind.
But I get what you mean, right? Like you definitely got your whole future ahead of you.
Yeah.
And finishing up school is maybe one of the biggest times of your life to make a decision as to what will be next, right?
I mean, to be honest.
Be honest, please.
I'm not sure what I want to do. I've always said that when I go to college, I'm going to study architecture because I love building things and I want to build houses that are made out of recyclable items that people who cannot afford to actually buy a house because it's so expensive can buy these houses, which are suitable. The government says it's okay and they're safe and they don't cost that much.
Right.
So I wanted to do that, but now I'm thinking, I was like, the closer I'm getting to the college years, I'm just like what else do I want to do? I'm like, as a Gemini, I feel like we never know what we want. Like we're good at everything, so we can't choose one thing. Just one thing we want to be professional at. I don't know. I mean, I also want to learn how to dance because I love dancing. I also want to learn how to sing, but to be honest, I really don't know what my future is looking like.
Right.
I know it's bright.
It's definitely bright.
Very bright.
Very flexible plans at this point. Yeah. That's
I
good.
just need her to make that money.
She gonna make that money.
She need to
no
make
doubt.
that money.
She got the.
Mama like to eat.
Mama like to eat.
Mama like to eat.
And mama friends like to eat too. So.
Okay. And I like some friends over.
For sure. Great. And Tracy, what about you?
As far as staying in Taiwan,
as far as staying in Taiwan, okay, sorry.
We'll be here for another year,
right?
And then whether she decides to go to college in Ghana, like she's expecting, or she decides to start off maybe in Georgia and go to a historically black college, and then transfer over as an exchange student, which I think is a great option for her. We'll see. I may travel with her, but at the same time, if my parenting is intact, I think she could do it on her own, and I would love to see that. You know, I'd love to be in a place where she calls me every couple of months and we just kind of catch up with each other, and she just does her own things and sees that her wings are capable, and that would make me happy. So right now I'm in Taiwan, and if this place is good, as far as if I feel like it's going to be a home for me, I'll stay. You know, I'm easily pleased. You know, at the same time I'm fickle. But at the same time, it's simple things like Taiwan has like the hospitality here, the kindness, which is the same. Just the family unit, I appreciate that. So these type of things, if I went back to the U.S., I know I'd be hungry for. And the type of silence I get here. I don't have any men whistling at me. I don't have a lot of sounds I understand because I don't speak the language thoroughly.
Right.
So I get to have a lot of peace and quiet. And I love really not knowing everything. Instead of in the U.S., I pretend like I know and I don't know. But here I really don't know and I get to just lay back. And I like that. So
I completely agree.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Business ventures that you want to share?
Thank you. Well, right now I'm doing a yoga class at Acid Lab, and that's every Friday at 10 a.m. And I'm also teaching several hip-hop classes for kids. And these are private classes, but other people can be a part of them. And I'm also starting an English company that's based on fitness and English. And it's a phenomenal combination that's very well put together. And I'm also a personal trainer. I do this by phone and I also do this in person. Some of these things might seem like different adventures, but for me they're all one. I started off as a writer, as a very, I guess younger, at the age of 10, I started writing poetry, and then I kept up with that, and I want to say that dancing is this writing in motion, and then because I knew I wanted to always be fit to be a dancer, then personal training became a natural offshoot. So I think for me, there are all of these balanced things. And it's interesting, English, I always thought I would be an English teacher. Not ESL, but I always thought I would be a language arts teacher because I had a phenomenal English teacher in 8th grade. I'm like, I want to be like her. So I always knew I would be an English teacher, but I didn't know how it would come about. So these are all my passions coming together. And when I can make them meet a place where they're harmonious, then I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. It sounds beautiful. You'll send me all of the details, all of the links, and in the description below the video. Whoever's interested, especially our Taiwanese viewers, Taiwan-based viewers, they'll be able to check out your stuff. Any last thoughts, any last comments before we wrap it up? Tracy she's putting up the super quantum defense guard, so it's up to you, Harmony. You want to close it out?
Well, I'm thinking of a Chinese proverb.
Oh,
that would be the perfect sign off.
Well, I'd like to say a phrase that's going to help every brother and sister that are thinking about moving to Taiwan, because it is, yes.
Take it away.
Because this is a great place to live. I would say Jababwe. And this is actually not Chinese, it's Taiwanese. And Jababwe means, have you eaten? Are you hungry? Have you had anything to drink? Have you had anything to eat? And it comes from wartime where there was a lot of famine and people didn't have these regular supplies of things, so people on the street would ask, and if you hadn't eaten, they would bring you in. So this is instead of Ni Hao Ma. It is 100% better, especially if you're someone that already speaks Chinese and you want people to respect that you speak Chinese and you don't know how to prove it to them because they keep speaking to you in English. Say Jababwe and they'll just go off like it's like a dance of Chinese for you. Hey.
Got the password now.
Oh yeah.
Got the passcode.
That's it, boo. It's a passcode.
That's what it is.
Exactly. Well, that's a good ending right there.
That's a beautiful ending. Tracy, Harmony, thank you guys so much.
Oh God.
Lamb Chop, Black Asian Magazine. Peace.